Hey everyone, welcome back to the Make the Jump podcast. It's Jumper Liquid time, and we have Jakub from Hyperbloom here on the podcast with us. We're going to be talking all things Hyperbloom and what they're building in the Hyperliquid ecosystem and diving deep into the Jumper and Hyperbloom partnership. Jakub, good to have you on here. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Hey, the pleasure's ours to have you on here, and we have this recent partnership that's been going on, and we're really excited to have this podcast to dive a little bit deeper into it, talk about all the good stuff. But before we begin, why don't you introduce yourself? Let us know what you're doing over at Hyperbloom and how you ended up at Hyperbloom.
So pleasure to meet everyone. Thank you so much for having me again. I'm Jakub, so I'm the core business contributor at Hyperbloom. I started in crypto in 2021, right in the middle of my studies. I studied management and AI in digital society, and then in the middle of my studies, I just fell in love in free in crypto and blockchain, everything related to that. So right after my graduation, I started contributing to the MEV protection protocol called Shutter Network. I spent 2 years there. And right now I'm fully committed to Hyperbloom. We started building Hyperbloom about 2 months ago. And to this day, Hyperbloom is running for 51 days since the launch of our DEX aggregator. This is how I ended up at Hyperbloom. I met core technical contributor Przemek in the Telegram trenches some months ago. We both like Hyperliquid, HyperEVM, so we decided to tune it up.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to not like Hyperliquid, Hyper EVM, and all that's been going on over the last, through 2024 and now mid 2025. What do you think it is about Hyperliquid that's got builders like yourself and retail so interested in the Hyperliquid ecosystem?
So I started in Hyperliquid about 1 year ago. Actually, it's a funny story. I started a Discord group from quite a famous guy in Hyperliquid ecosystem called Daretail. The group is called Pandaland. And basically, this is how I got introduced to Hyperliquid ecosystem. I think the general wealth effect plays a key role here, but also I think the focus on just pure building. So I think it's quite unique. There are no grants or particularly direct help from the foundation. On the other hand, it's the ecosystem, which is pretty young. So all of these projects can rely on the DeFi foundations, so they can partnership with each other kind of directly. Then based on these partnerships later on can evolve to some more unique use cases. So yeah, I think the ecosystem is pretty young and we will still have to see how it evolves. But for now, from what I see and how fast everything evolves, I'm pretty bullish on Hyperliquid and HyperEVM.
Yeah, I would say that I'm bullish as well. I guess it's this early eagerness into new ecosystems that launch that have the right backing for developers, excite retail users, and there's this first mover advantage, both for those who are building and those who are involved in Hyperliquid perps in the earlier days. Let's chat about Hyperbloom a little bit and the actual role that Hyperbloom is playing in this ecosystem where there's a lot of momentum. Give us the lowdown on exactly what you're building at Hyperbloom and how that fits into the broader Hyperliquid picture.
So our broader goal is to build like a DeFi super app on top of HyperEVM and basically aggregate all of the liquidity that is on chain in various cases. So we started it as a DEX aggregator because we thought that basically this is the product that is needed the most. And basically our scope, our goal was to integrate as many liquidity sources as possible. I think that was quite a big success because we very fast integrated for now 10 liquidity sources, which is the most in the ecosystem. And we also added auto compounding votes on top based on liquidity pools for now from Hyperswap, KiddenSwap, Project X, and Hybra. And basically the Hyperbloom aims to be the source for the liquidity coming from various projects and different sources, but optimized in the best way for the user.
Can you dive a little bit deeper into the yield optimization for the users, and maybe some patterns that you see your users doing on Hyperbloom when it comes to yield optimization.
Yeah, so our auto-compounding votes are basically based on, frankly saying, auto-compounding. So how it works is users deposit token pairs through our smart contract, and that smart contract is basically deposit two liquidity pools on DEXs. The main difference is that we harvest the rewards and fees for the user and auto-compound them, so redeposit them into the pool. And by this, we're basically boosting the APY and the reward that the user earns through the auto compounding through our votes. The patterns that I see are basically user are divided in two, I would say. So first pattern is, of course, point farmers, which basically take the advantage of auto compounding technique, and they just want to farm more points of particular dexes, particular protocols. But there are also users that take the advantage of the auto compounding, especially for stable pairs. And I'm personally the biggest fan of it when the pools where there are not like a big impermanent loss risk found the use case in auto compounding. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's good to hear these patterns and kind of almost visualize what users are doing on Hyperbloom at the moment. I guess, the big thing that our teams have been celebrating is this integration of Hyperbloom on Jumper at Jumper. From our side, we're really happy about this because we want to serve the most in-demand routes that our user base has and the broader crypto ecosystem has. And integrating Hyperbloom as a liquidity source allows us to serve these routes and allowed us to have this partnership with you. We see this as important because we aim to be the one-stop platform for users to explore any chain and any opportunity in any ecosystem. Why was this partnership important from Hyperbloom's point of view to partner up with Jumper for this?
Yeah, so I think first of all, Jumper is definitely a way for a lot of users to explore and get to know a lot of ecosystems. And I personally, as a user back in the days, got introduced to a lot of chains, a lot of ecosystem only by using Jumper. So from the perspective of Hyperbloom, the partnership definitely highlights that I would say we're going to the right direction of integrations, of having the right quads, there are the best ratios. So for us, it's just a confirmation that we're going to the right direction. And also, it's very important for us that basically a lot of users that will get to know about HyperEVM and Hyperliquid through Jumper will also get to know HyperEVM and Hyperliquid through Hyperbloom by using Jumper. So I guess we're the most excited about creating an entry to HyperEVM and Hyperliquid together with a project like Jumper.
Yeah, we kind of see Jumper as the gateway and entry to Hyperliquid, Hyper EVM, Hypercore, Hyperbloom, and it's also the entry to this points program that you have going on. There's been a 50% boosted points for those who swap on Jumper via Hyperbloom. I believe that boost is lasting for maybe 2.5 more weeks. Can you give us the lowdown on the Hyperbloom Points program and why users should care about these points and get this 50% point boost by swapping on Jumper?
Yeah, so our points program is the incentivization program that runs on Hyperbloom. And basically, in the future, we will let these users gather this point to provide even more contributions to Hyperbloom and basically kind of have also their part of the project. So I think users should care about these points because maybe for now it looks like a traditional point system, but we're preparing something really nice for the users, which will also enable kind of having the chunk of the protocol in their hands only by accumulating points and working on them. So yeah, all that I can say now is that we're preparing something special for point holders and for users that participate in our protocol.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, that sounds really exciting. I myself have been swapping via Hyperbloom on Jumper and just enjoying the fact, to be honest, that on Jumper, we have these routes and serve these routes and get boosted points because of that. So, hey, audience, it's up to you. If you want to swap via Hyperbloom, I'm doing it. Jakob surely is doing it as well. But we leave that one up to you. This has been good so far. Like we've been talking about how you've ended up at Hyperbloom, what's going on at Hyperbloom. Why don't we take a moment to chat about what's upcoming for Hyperbloom? So, you guys have launched, we have our integration, which is live. The points boost is live as well. What does the next few quarters of the year look like for your team?
Of course, I cannot spill the tea that much for obvious reasons, but for now we're focusing on integrations for our DEX aggregator that are not only focused on DEX integrations, we're also looking beyond. So we're planning to be the first aggregator to do so on Hyper-EVM. And we're still, of course, optimizing the whole system. So we basically build everything in a very short time. And this is also like the protocol is running for only 50 days. So there are a lot of things to improve still. But yeah, we're currently integrating not only DEXs, but also other liquidity sources for our DEX aggregator. And regarding the auto compounding votes, we don't want to only stop on liquidity pools said before. We're also targeting different DeFi protocols whenever it is possible to basically do the auto compound. So right now we're focusing on lending protocols, and we basically want to, in the near future, offer the users the beauty of auto compounding without the fear of impermanent loss, like it is regarding liquidity pools if they are not focused on stable pairs.
Yeah, those are good things to be building towards. So the TLDR is deeper liquidity, more routing, more token options, and more yield opportunities, which will be auto compounded, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, this is kind of the foundation. So I see the pattern in the Hyper-EVM ecosystem in general, that basically the whole game here started basically on the foundations that we already know as DeFi users. So as plain DeFi protocols and without like a lot of experimentation. And I think that's kind of a good direction because these protocols then can mature after some time and then move forward to some experimentations, maybe with AI, maybe with yield bearing stablecoins that we haven't seen yet. So this is what we're trying to do as well. We want to build like a proper good foundation. We want to build also trust among our users and show that we can ship and build a product and then move forward to more experiments with AI, with different yield options.
When we first started this conversation today, you mentioned that you have a background in AI studies. So I was cheeky and wondering how would you implement that in the future, but that may be some alpha that we'd have to look forward to. How does Hyperbloom pay with AI?
Yeah, so this is also an interesting story. Like I met Przemek, so the core technical contributor, at the beginning of this year, and initially we were trying to build an AI project, but it definitely needs some time to mature to basically build like a proper fundament in the market. So that's why we decided, hey, let's build something stable for now, and then maybe it will bloom after some time. And yeah, this is our general idea. We don't want to only stop on the DEX aggregator and auto compounding. As I said before, we're trying to build like a DeFi super app, but first we're trying to build the foundations for it. Essentially, we want to build like AI yield optimization between different protocols on Hyper-EVM, but this is something on the roadmap that it's not a focus for now, maybe next year.
Yeah, well, excited to see how that all unfolds as we head into next year. Well, Jakub, it's been great having you on the podcast today. And yeah, thanks for making the time to come out and speak to our listeners.
Thank you so much for having me. It's amazing to see because I'm a big fan of jumpers since a long time. So it's also a really nice milestone for us regarding the integration and being here at the podcast. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's only a pleasure. And yeah, we appreciate you coming out here today. Uh, Listeners, Jumper Nights, it's been great having you tune in to another podcast episode. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Make the Jump podcast. Until then, we'll see you later.